All right, hello everyone. It's Graydon here with Forever Booked. I'm here with one of my all-star clients, Nathan Strom. So Nathan is the co-owner of Refined Image Ottawa, their medical spa out here in Ottawa, Ontario. He's also a practice growth consultant at Revenue Doctors as well. So this is a really interesting interview because I'm interviewing someone that owns a med spa and is also like a pro at sales and marketing as well. So it's a real treat for me to have a client like this, and he's had a lot of success. So I just thought I'd have him on to talk about his experience with our program. Thanks for coming on, Nathan.
Thanks, man. It's good to be here.
No, absolutely. Thanks for making the time. And no, this is going to be a really good interview. I think we can provide a lot of value to other clinic owners here. So why don't we just start off at the beginning? I think you started working with me, when was it? I think it was June, correct? Right before the
Yeah, we
summertime.
we started talking around June. I've been using the platform probably fully up and running for a couple of months now,
Yep.
and I think we're getting great success. Like I'm very happy with the platform, um, and I sort of came to you because I needed to bring in another like $10,000 to $15,000 worth of revenue to my practice a month. Um, that was what I was looking to achieve. And so far, in the first kind of 2 months that I'm doing it, it's been working. And I was very, very surprised, I have to admit, because being in this industry for a while now, there's a lot of companies out there that are messaging us clinic owners and even consultants in this industry every day saying, I can get you this many leads, or I can do this and I can do that. And we've all been burnt more than once. And I was very surprised the first weekend we turned on your platform because the bites came in, and I even said to my wife, I was like, "Are these real leads?" Like I was even
Yeah.
skeptical, even from that point of view. But when the patients started coming into our clinic and they were paying patients, paying for our services, it got me very, very excited. And now we're just looking at always new ways to use your platform to elevate our business.
No, that's great. And like, what was the situation before? You said everyone's been burned, right? Which is very true.
Yeah.
What type of businesses did you work with before working with us? Like how
Yeah,
many?
so I tried out a few marketing companies before, and they all had different variations of techniques and strategies behind it, and ways that they would tell me how they would create a pipeline, and the pipeline wouldn't happen, right? Like it
Yeah.
wouldn't, the patients wouldn't come through the door, the patients wouldn't bite on whatever they were doing. But like it was just been night and day since we started using Forever Book. I love the fact that the AI does most of the work for me, and
Yeah.
I'm only needed when the patient is hot to go, and it's so easy for me to use as a clinic owner, but also my staff. So like between 9 and 5, I don't touch Forever Booked. My staff run it for me, and I only run it in the
Nice.
after hours, like in the weekends and evenings.
That's great. And like, what specific parts of the pipeline, like, why do you think it was easier this time around compared to the last times? Are there any specific ways the pipeline's organized or the training's organized? Why do you feel like it was just easier and less complicated and easier to implement?
Well, I deal with Anna, one of your technicians, and what do you call Anna? Like a creative technician,
Call
or
call call her a marketing coach. Like sometimes call her an account manager, but she's just yeah, she takes care of all
yeah,
my
yeah,
clients.
yeah. So I'm guessing you've got other superstars as well, but Anna's absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant. Like she was so easy to deal with in regards to setting the platform up for me and explaining how it works. So to run the ads, it's pretty straightforward, right? Once you get on
Yeah.
a call with one of your superstar agents or whatever you want to call them, um, and then like it's so simple. You push go. Like it was literally, I couldn't believe it. The day I pushed go, the leads started coming in. And I think the AI robot is a huge factor in the platform, because as business owners, we like time it's a resource that we don't have much of, and I find that AI robot really helps sort out like the rubbish from the good, um, and like it really helps bring that lead through to the hot stage when it's worth me investing my time in either reaching out to the patient by phone or continuing to have that message in the chatting part of the platform. And to be honest, we very rarely pick up the phone to ring our patients. We're doing it over the chat version of the platform and booking them in. And we still do get the odd no-show, but our no-show rate is lower than our actual existing patient no-show rate. So
Wow.
it's something that, yeah, so it's something that like I have full confidence in, and like yeah, we've been I'm really happy with the platform, I have to say. Surprised but very happy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I keep on saying like you need to call the leads, but I'm getting an increasing number of clients who just do it through text message. And I'm like, well, if that's working for
That's what we're
you
doing.
and your no-show rate's fine, just like by all means, do it through text. You know?
Yeah, it's
Right?
working. The big thing is though, and I think yeah, I think where we've done well as a clinic is, um, and we're getting back to the patient like straight away. So we leave no
Yeah.
time in between. Once they message back saying, I'm ready to book, or like how is next Thursday looking in your clinic or whatever, and like that hot lead message comes through, within like less than 5 minutes we're messaging them back. And I think that's been a huge success of the way we're using Forever Booked. I think in this industry there's so many alternative options for patients, and patients want things now, and it's kind of an impulse booking for these patients, so you've got to hook them when they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's honestly the that's one of the biggest things that my top clients do. They get back to the hot leads quickly. And like that's why we call it a hot lead. Like it's called a
yeah.
hot lead for a reason, right? It's like it's going to cool down soon. So I think that's one of the reasons why you're so successful, because you understand that and you're like on them immediately.
And my friends think it's funny, like I'm on the golf course and I have everything hooked up to my watch. So I'll literally be sitting there about to like take a shot, and my watch will go off, and I'll hit the ball, and then I'll be like, sorry boys, I need to get this. And they know, they're like, you've got a hot lead? And I'm like, yeah. So on a Saturday afternoon, I'm on my phone in between shots playing golf, booking
That's
patients
so
in.
funny.
And my mates think it's a running joke now. Like every time I go up to take it, like drive off the tee, they're like, watch out for that hot lead coming in.
Oh, that's
Uh,
funny. That's crazy. Yeah, and like people, I don't want people to mistake this with like just a lead, right? Because with traditional marketing, it's like you generate a lead and then you're supposed to call the leads immediately. But the
yeah,
difference between this, it's like the leads came in and then our AIs had a full conversation to the point where they actually want to come in, right? So it's not
yeah.
like, oh, you're stopping your shot to like call this random lead that came in that's not going to pick up. This is someone that actually like had a conversation.
Oh, you
While you were.
like I would say once it's a hot lead, it's your 90%. I haven't looked at the data behind that, but I'd say once it's a hot lead, once the AI's got it to a hot lead, it's very, very rare that that patient isn't coming into my clinic. Which is the beauty of this. Like I'm not having to spend like hours and hours a day like communicating with these patients. The AI robot's already done that for me. Like it's
Yeah.
when I get that text message and that email saying that it's a hot lead, it's worth my while jumping on my phone immediately to finish off the job and get them booked.
Awesome.
Yeah,
No, you get it. That's for sure. This is why like you're a consultant and you help other people with this, right? And speaking
yeah,
of
yeah.
that, what other things have you been implementing that you feel are really crucial to other people in this program, crucial to their success, besides just contacting people immediately?
Yeah, so I think the key is to having an infrastructure for when these patients actually come into your clinic. So you've got the lead, you've booked them in your system. That's the easy part, right? That's it. The hard part is once they come in, you have to have your staff trained on getting the best out of this patient. So the patient experience has to be like down to a T, right? So from the patient parking in your parking space, to walking into the clinic, to being greeted, to getting there before photos taken, to sitting into the treatment room, to meeting the first treatment provider, everything has to run as smoothly as possible. Down to like, how does your clinic smell when they come in the door? What sort of drinks are you offering? Is it a high-end sparkling water? Is it a high-end coffee from one of your high-end coffee machines? What sort of music is playing? Like, what is the atmosphere in your clinic? Does it match the brand? Does it match your website? All these things are so important. But then having packages, really smart packages and memberships and subscription models in your clinic. So when the patient does come in and they experience that first treatment and they're talking with your provider, that then your provider is upselling them on the next treatment or the next package. So my staff know that when a forever booked patient comes in, they're not just coming in and doing the treatment and then saying, hey, bye, thank you for your service. It's a full-on skin consult with photos, with education, and then there's a action to buy at the end of the treatment for them to continue on their services with us. So we're running a promotion right now on Forever Booked that the patient comes in knowing that they're spending $300, but we've got that average spend up to over $500, and we're getting repeat visits. And I think that's the crucial thing, because one bite isn't enough. You want this patient to become a patient forever, which is, I'm guessing, why you guys call yourself Forever Booked. Yeah.
No, absolutely. No, that's sweet. Like the offer that you're running, okay, this is another important thing that people need to know, is like we have a lot of offers. Like generally the highest volume offer that we use, it's like a $97 price point, but you're successfully using a $300 price point, right, to bring people in. So that's another thing that people need to know. It's like you can also run a $300 intro offer as long as the value's there. Like, what's the total value of that offer? Like $600 or $500?
It's $650. The value is $650, and I'm offering it at $300. I'm also doing a 1170 one as well, and I'm getting 4 or 5 bites of that a month as well. So that's nice. That's great. And I think what people have to understand is the higher your offer is, the more patient you have to be with it. And I'm happy with, I'm happy getting 5 of those 1170 offers a month out of the platform, because that's an extra $5,000, only 5 patients. And the offer that I'm offering is more than one visit as well. So it's giving me a chance, or my staff a chance, to build a really solid relationship with that patient. And it's also the one that I'm doing for 1170. It involves skincare, it involves laser treatments, and it involves tox. So they're getting to experience 3 parts of my business, which I think is really, really important, because it means next time they come in, they're going to be wanting to buy from one of those 3 areas of my business. It's going to help my retail revenue stream, it's going to help my laser, and also my tox revenue stream. And I think that's what's missing in our industry, is when I go out as a consultant, clinics aren't building packages around all their revenue streams. That, buy a pack of 4 IPLs, or buy a pack of three RF microneedling treatments. I think it's gone are the days of doing that. Like, patients want like a complete package. And from a results point of view, if you're going to bundle tox, laser, and skincare together, you're going to get a better result. You're going to get a better result from a results point of view, but you're also going to get a better result from a business point of view as well, because that is 3 different ways that patient is going to fall in love with your clinic.
Yeah, like following with like even different providers too, getting to know more of your clinic. Yeah, I talk about that all the time too, like combination therapy, right? You're combining these different treatment modalities. And when you do it that way, you can also, it also makes you stand out more as a provider. So instead of just like, oh, I'm this provider, I'm this cookie cutter provider providing, 3 sessions of this branded treatment like the laser company told me to, I'm instead combining them in a unique way. And then I can even you can name your package something unique as well. So it turns
Oh,
you from this
100%.
like commoditized
100%.
provider into a unique provider of a solution.
And no one can price shop you then, because if you create, like, say, my clinic's called Refined Image Ottawa, we call ourselves Rio. If we create the Rio hyperpigmentation package, no one knows what's in that. Like
Yeah, yeah.
this is the price of it. No one knows what's in it. So even when I post that on social media as say a before and after, there's no way someone can turn around and price match that. They're intrigued, so they contact me, and that's when the conversation starts. So I think there's a lot of clever ways to market packages, and I think that's where clinics are falling down. In my opinion, that when I travel around North
Yeah.
America consulting clinics, that their menus are boring, and we need to get
Yeah.
more creative with our menus.
They're
Yeah,
boring and they're confusing. It's just like
yeah,
looking at some menu at a Chinese restaurant. There's like a gazillion different options. Like, what do I buy?
yeah, 100%. And I think it's the whole idea of what we do is you've got to find ways to get the patient in front of you, because once the patient's in your treatment room, then it's just all about education. And if you educate if you find early in the consult process, if you find what the patient's needs and wants are, and you're able to educate them around those needs and wants, it doesn't become selling, it just becomes educating, and they will buy on the spot because you're offering a solution.
Yep. Now I have a question for you about the like running a consultation and actually presenting and selling one of these multimodal packages that you're talking about. How do
Yep.
you how do you do that from a provider standpoint? Because let's say that you have an esthetician who's doing the consult, but maybe you want that package to include injectables, and it
Yep.
can be difficult for the esthetician to like prescribe injectables. So how do you approach that to make sure you're selling packages that contain these different treatments?
Yeah, so like I do most of the consults in my clinic when it comes to laser and skincare, and then I allow the nurses to do injectable consults. But we do a
Okay.
lot of joint consults, and I'm a huge fan of joint
Okay.
consults. So like if we know if we know the patient's coming in, and it's going to be they want a bit of everything, we'll actually book two providers. So we'll book a nurse with myself, and we
Okay.
will discuss the consult as a team, and we will discuss how we're going to treat them using the lasers, using the tox, using the skincare, and how we're going to time each treatment and the reason why behind it. Um, so
Okay.
the patient walks out knowing that they're getting a complete package, and this package could be like a 12-month journey, but they know where we're going to take them from start to finish. And I think it's so powerful when you have all your staff on the same talking points, the same wavelength, when it comes to being in the consult room, because they feel so comfortable that you know what you're doing, and you're providing a solution to what they need.
That's super smart. So like, how often are you selling a package that's like a pre-done package
Yep.
versus something that's completely customized, or do you tend to start with a template and then custom and kind of tweak it based on a consult?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I give my staff a lot of leeway. I build I build packages on our menu for our staff, um, but they have a lot of leeway and a lot of ways to change those packages because they understand
Yeah.
our margins. I'm very open with our margins and how we do things in our business, so they can swap things out and add things in. So every time we do like a membership or a custom package, it's very customized to that patient. I think it's so hard to put a one size fits all in this industry. It's nice to
Yeah.
start and have like a framework, and I 100% have a framework, but we're often tweaking our packages and our memberships to work for that individual patient. And I think it's all about empowering your staff and educating your staff on the importance why, but also training your staff on understanding the aging process, understanding your devices and what your neuromodulators and fillers are doing to help the aging process and how you pair them all together. And then obviously skincare is obviously the most important part, which is what I start all my patients on.
Yeah, I find that it's easier to standardize like the lasers and the skincare, but the injectables is often something that needs to be customized. So you can almost start with like a scaffolding of like a series of skin treatments, and then you customize the injectables.
Yeah, and sometimes when we do packages, we say to them, look, in this package, you're getting 30 units of tox, but we may need to use a little bit more. But at least
Yeah,
it's best to buy this package because you're getting such a great deal on the laser and the skincare with the tox. You can just top
yeah,
up your package once you come in for your tox treatment on the extra value that you need.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so switching gears just a bit here. Our program is a done with you program, right? So it's not, we're not, we used to be an agency where we would do everything for you, Nathan.
Yep.
Like we would just set up all the campaigns, but we switched to this new model because it gives people a lot more control and flexibility. And it's also a lot less expensive, right? It's much more affordable than
Yep.
hiring like a done for you agency. So what's your experience been like that in that regard? Like how, I know a lot of people think it's going to be super complicated and confusing to set up everything yourself, but like honestly, how has it been for you to have the control to like set these campaigns up in house versus us doing it all for you?
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a am I a power freak or a control freak? I don't know what's the best thing to. I honestly think from a business ownership point of view, you should understand everything that is happening in your business. Like I'm an entrepreneur, I have a business degree, but I can operate every single one of the lasers in my clinic. The only thing I don't do is inject because I'm not allowed to inject, but I understand how a nurse injects and I understand the process around injecting. So if I'm in that detail around the services that we offer in our clinic, why wouldn't I be why would I not want to have the same sort of detail around the operations and how my clinic runs? So the one thing I love about the Forever Book platform is I understand how it's working. I understand the process behind it. So then it helps me really buy into the system as well. And I think for someone to buy into something, you have to understand it. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
The other thing is I'm learning every day as well. And there are times where I tweak our campaigns and I sometimes use the assistance of your team to help me tweak those campaigns as well. And I think that's important. It's great having them there. But the one thing I love about the Forever Book system is I understand it fully. So it means that I can make quick decisions on the spot. If say a campaign's not working or a campaign is working, I can really load up on it. And
Yeah.
I just think it empowers me, right? It empowers me as a business owner to understand that part of my business. And I think it's so important, especially when you're starting out, to understand every single part of your business.
No, I couldn't agree more. And I think that's why so many people, like, I think that's why marketing agencies have such a bad reputation. It's like, yes, there are bad agencies, but a big reasons why people outsource marketing to an agency is like, they're like, I don't want to do marketing. I don't understand it. So I'm going to outsource what that I don't
Yeah.
understand. And that's like never, like, doesn't matter how good the agency is. Like, it's often a recipe for failure. Right.
Yeah,
And
and
so it's like,
I don't want to spend $15,000 a month on an agency where I can spend less and get a good return. I don't
yeah,
have that. I don't have that kind of money lying around, and I don't think most agencies have that kind of money. Most clinics have that kind of money, especially clinics starting out. It'd be different if I was like a 35 room dermatology clinic, with 20
yeah,
lasers, then I could spend $15,000 a month on advertising. But I have 7 treatment rooms, I have 5 or 6 lasers, and I have 3 or 4 providers in my clinic on any given day. So like I'm your typical medi spa.
yeah.
I'm not the size to be working with like a agency on a retainer. I would rather be working with someone like yourself who's also a small business that understands what medi spas are doing.
Yeah, and like even if you wanted to grow to that point, you'd be in a much better position if you did spend some time doing it yourself, so you can properly work with the agency, right? Who's doing it for you.
100%. And like, I don't think I would ever need to, because if I need to scale what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to invest more marketing dollars into the Forever
Yeah,
Book
spend more money.
campaigns,
Spend more money
right?
on ads. Yeah.
That's,
So it's not too complicated.
yeah. So it's, if it's working, like why fix something that's working? It doesn't need fixing.
All right, so let's start wrapping up here, Nathan. One last question for you, or maybe second last question is, so there's a lot of clinics, just like you said, like a lot of clinics who are like a typical med spa, typical size like yourself, and they considering doing a program like this. Maybe they've worked with other agencies and got burned before. They're kind of on the fence for whatever reason. Maybe they don't think the AI works. Maybe they don't believe they can do the marketing in house. What would you
Yeah.
say to someone who's like kind of on the fence about that?
So I would say that I've been in this industry almost 10 years now, and I've been in a lot of different roles in this industry. So I've been on the device side, the skincare side. I've been on the pharmaceutical side. I've also been on the clinic side as well, like most recently with owning my own clinic. I've been consulting for close to 4 years now, and I've seen a lot. Like, I've seen a lot go on, and the number one question I get from every clinic or clinic owner I talk to is, how do we get new patients in the door? It's the number one question. And Forever Booked will get you patients in the door at an affordable price. You will be very surprised, as long as you set up that first campaign strategically,
Yeah.
and you offer a good offering. You'll be very, very surprised at how hot your phone is that first weekend that you set it up. And I challenge people that before they set up with Forever Booked, be very, very strategic in how you're going to set your practice up to allow for those leads to come in. So when they do come in, you're making the most of them to upsell them to the next level. Because if they're coming in to spend $300, you should be wanting them to spend 500 or 600. If they're coming in to spend 100, you should be bumping that up to 300, 400, whatever it is. So I think it's like anything. Like, prepare for the floodgates to open up. And I'll just give you a little bit of an intro into how it's working in my clinic. Like, just this morning, I woke up this morning at 6:30, and I booked in 2 patients. I had to do a few errands before I came into work, and by the time I got in at 10 a.m., my admin assistant had booked in another 3 patients. So between 6:30 and 10 a.m. this morning, we booked 5 patients using the Forever Book platform. And that's a great day for us. I'm not saying every day is like that, but every day I'm between 1 and around 5 bookings, new bookings a day. So I haven't seen a platform like it, and I was very, very surprised, and I'm happy to talk to anyone that wants a little bit of insurance that this is going to work in their practice.
Great. Thanks for that, Nathan. And let's talk
No
about
worries.
let's mention, if you don't mind, talk about like the actual revenue, right? So what's been your tracked revenue over the last
Yeah,
2 months?
yeah. So we've been using the platform properly for 2 months, where we've had consistent, aggressive campaigns going, and we've done around 30,000 in sales on the Forever Book
That's great.
platform. And to be honest, I think it would probably be a little bit more. I need to go in and tidy up the dashboard a little bit more, but at the moment we're around the $30,000 mark. And the best thing about this is I can't wait to see these patients, because I've set up a system that a lot of these patients are rebooking, so that they're going to be coming in for
Yeah.
future appointments in the coming months. So that $30,000 is just going to snowball for us as the months continue. So it's doing what I wanted. I said to you, Graydon, when I started up, I said I want another $10,000 to $15,000 of sales a month. When we agreed to the pricing and all that sort of stuff, and you've been true to your word. It's doing what it's doing, and so I will continue to keep flogging the horse until it dies.
Let's just keep on doing it, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so to finish this off, why don't you talk about revenue doctors? Maybe just give like a quick introduction on what that is, and if because people are listening to this interview and like clearly you've had a lot of success with our program. Obviously, we had a part to do with it, but you had a huge part as well. So maybe
Yeah.
just give like a quick plug on revenue doctors and how people can reach you if they want help.
Yeah, so I also have a consultancy company called the Revenue Doctors. I have a business partner called George Skandalis, aka the Skin Guy, who's very well known. We do a lot of public speaking for a lot of uh, uh, industry industry companies or corporate companies in the industry, but we also work with clinics on an individual basis as consultants and coaches. We help you from anything from HR through to menu and package development or membership development through to day-to-day operations and patient experience. So we're a small business. We're very flexible and versatile. So clinics come to us and we build a solution around what they need. So some clinics we're meeting an hour a month. Some clinics we're hands-on in the clinic, depending on what it is. George also does some advanced laser training on certain devices in the industry as well. So we've got a lot of strings to our bow. We have a lot of experience in this industry. We're very passionate about this industry. And we love watching people succeed. Like that's what we love. Like at the end of the day, everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to make enough money in their practice so they can spend more time with their family, or as George would say, my business partner, more time with his dog. Um, and
Hey man, whatever
that's
matters.
yeah, and that's what it's all about, right? And
Yeah.
we want everyone to succeed, so we're here to help. So we don't charge for a consultation meeting with us, just an intro meeting. So if anyone wants to get hold of us, feel free to reach out at nathan@therevenuedoctors.com or find us on Instagram at Nathan Strom.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll add those links below as well. And you
Awesome.
guys are you both musicians as well?
No, we're not. We're not.
Musicians?
No,
Because I
no, no,
see
we're
like
not.
your website. I see there's like video. There's like a video background of you both singing.
No, no,
That's
well, George is a good singer. He's actually in his other life, he's an actor and he's a playwright, so he does a
okay.
lot of acting and directing of
Cool.
plays. But for me, I'm the worst singer in the world, so often we will lip sync and have a
Yeah,
little
I
bit of
saw the
fun.
lip syncing, but it was like really good. Like the way your mouth
Yeah.
was moving, I was like, damn, this guy actually sing.
No, no.
I didn't hear
George,
anything, so
yeah, George has a great voice. I have a terrible voice.
okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I never know because there's no audio, so maybe just keep the audio away. People
Yeah,
can listen to
exactly,
it.
exactly.
Cool. Well, again, thank you so much, Nathan. This was a really good interview. I think people watching this are going to get a lot of value. So yeah, I really appreciate you coming on and looking forward to doing some more awesome work together.
And thank you to you, Graydon. One thing I love about this world is when someone delivers on what they promise. And
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm very, very happy with the platform. And my business partner, Sandra at Refined Image Ottawa, she was very skeptical as well when we first started. And it takes a lot to impress her. And even she gets excited when our hot leads come in. So it's good fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Nathan. Appreciate that.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
Okay. Cheers.